And we are live. All right. Let's see. 30 minutes of awesome. Hey, everybody. Had the live stream going there. Or countdown going. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Pop up the chat. Afternoon, Frank. Afternoon. How's everybody doing? I've got Zoom going. I've got YouTube going. I've got it all going. And 30 minutes awesome. So, well, we had some earnings coming in. Financials kind of wrapping up heavy this week. And Goldman Sachs kind of plummeting. Morgan Stanley popping, hitting the $98 target that I talked about in the morning live stream. If you didn't know I did a morning live stream, well, you should make sure you're subscribed and have the notifications turned on YouTube, because I did a morning live stream and I'll probably do more of those in the coming days and weeks ahead. So after that, crypto is booming. We'll talk about that. And as always, number 3, I'll analyze your requests. So we'll throw them in the chats, in the various chats, and I'll do the best I can to hit everybody's for about 30 minutes of awesome chart analysis. First up, big thing, big news. Let's go to this chart. My simple chart that I've been showing off on YouTube and these live streams for months and months now. First time I really drew it up was back here in August. I kind of drew this top. We bounced right off here and went down, made a lower low in October. Popping up, bounced off the trend line once and twice now. Just poking up barely above it today. Do we break out or break down? Well, I threw a chart into Discord a little bit ago. Let's see if I can pull that up really quickly. It is right here. Let me open in the browser and pull it over right here. Let's talk about this chart really quickly. Now, right here's where we are. This is a 3-day chart of the S&P 500. Zoom it up here. Now, if we can push right through that purple line, same kind of purple line, just with different candles instead of a simplified chart. If we do this, we're likely to come right back up here, maybe a slightly higher high than what we did right back here in December. Right in December. Slightly higher, and then get a pullback, retest that trend line, and then run. This red line right here is the all-time high, and that green is the 1618 extension of the move that we did off the low. Pretty good target right there. If that's a wave 3, wave 4 would retrace back into the 45 area, and then wave 5 would pop us out way on up there. We're not even going to talk about that right now. But the other scenario, this high, this low, maybe that was an A, maybe this is a B wave corrective, right back to the roadmap line there. That's what that little dash line is, represents. The C wave would be right back down to that 3650 area that I've been talking about on the S&P 500 chart. So that would be support, and then we would launch up, and the targets are slightly lower, but same general ballpark. That's why the 3 is down here. That would take us right back up to the all-time high if we do that pullback right there. So time frame notwithstanding, I'm not trying to predict time on this chart. You can see the lines are not consistent in their width. So that is where we are right now. 3650 right down there. So that 3680 would be on the futures, about 20 less. So that would give us 3660 for S&P 500. So that would take us right down in this area, right near the bottom of the box. Now, I'm not expecting that right now, but it is a risk in the market. So I want everybody to be prepared. We got to watch. Now, big event coming up. 2 weeks. February 1st is the next FOMC. They're talking about maybe a quarter point, maybe no point. Well, that ties into this chart right here. Caution is that the real market rates are dipping. All right, here's our Fed funds rate. This blue line is the 2-year Treasury real. That's the real rates in the market, what we're actually paying, and it's on a downtrend right now. That's why all the talk, all the hubbub about what's going to happen, right? Do we need more rate raises? Well, the real market's saying that's it. That was it. We can't take any more right now. Now, this thing can just turn on a dime and pop higher, but typically after we top out, it doesn't turn higher. You know, we didn't turn higher in 2018. We didn't turn higher back here in 2008. And all the way back here in 2000. And even back here in 95. That was before I was trading. So all the ones that I've been trading, history tells us. Now we could see a little bit of, you know, prolonged period where the Fed holds, but then we're going to have a financial crisis and they're going to lower rates. So we're going to cross. Once we start leveling out, that sets the timer. Generally 100 to 120 months. It could go as long as like 180 months before the next financial crisis. So enjoy the party while it lasts. Anyway, all right. Moving on. Get back to where I can see the chat. All right. Any questions on the interest rates before we move on? Yes, no, maybe so. All right. Back to it. Now, that was the S&P 500 and interest rates. Let's go talk about Nasdaq really quick. It's still lagging. We did this consolidation back here in November into December before we did that little pop on that CPI in December. Then we did the downtrend. We didn't make a lower low. I thought we were going to, but we didn't do it. It was a higher low. So this is still a question mark in my mind. We did make a quadruple bottom though. Bottom once, twice, 3, 4 times right in that 11,800 area. And we're back in this consolidation box. So not really able to push higher today. That's a bummer. I mean, it's kind of like, oh, come on now. So Russell, the bright spot, it is just about to break out to new highs. This sucker can lead us out of here. We're just a few points away from pushing out to new highs, higher than we had in November. You know, this is from since we made the ultimate low back here in October. We're about to push out to new highs since we made that low. Very bullish, very positive for Russell. I don't have the target on here. Let's draw a target really quickly. So next move up takes us up to 21.65. So if you're like, how do I trade that? IWM, and that would be roughly 215 on IWM. So we're looking at a move all the way up here, and we can kind of chart this too. A little bit of, let's remove some of this crap off of here, so I'll get rid of this text so we can see. We're talking about that low, this high, this pullback, 214, 213, 214 right there. Probably hit 215. So right there, that's the ideal target. We get a pullback, and then the next launch up probably to 230, which has been, if you're in Discord following my IWM stuff, I've been talking about that 230 target for a while. That's probably where it's headed, ultimately. All right. So next up, oil. Getting close. Poking above the trend line today. Got my eyes on it. We do have the roadmap line just above that. So, and then, you know, there's a little bit of resistance right there. We get something where we can start looking like we're going to poke ahead. I'm going to be looking for long oil trades. And gasoline coming back up to the roadmap line. So a couple things to watch out for. So, all right. Next up, excuse me, gold. Get a little retrace today. I would like to see this one get a nice retrace, set up an entry, and then go. Not just run out forever. So we really need to see a nice retrace. Back to the roadmap line would be really super beautiful, like that, and then get the bounce. Heck, not, you know, just bounce up higher right off of that. So you can see the following right up my little orange line I had drawn there. Something like that. Bounce down here. You know, maybe the roadmap line pulls up a little higher. Start getting a little more bullish there, something like that. All right. I think that covers most of the futures. Let's talk about crypto for a minute because it started moving finally. Finally started moving. Look at this. Back up through the roadmap line. Today's candle looks, still bullish. Having a little trouble breaking above that high that we had back here in November. A little bit of trouble. Then we've got this other high from back here in September. So we've got some resistance built up above us. Nothing new. But on the bigger time frame, talk about weeks here, we have an event coming up, the halving event. And we're like 15 months out from that. Now, previous times, we make a low, we start running, and then when that halving event hits, we really run. And that's happened over and over. This is not a log scale, so if we change it to log really quickly, you can see it a little better. So we make a low, we run into the halving, and then we really run. We make a low, we run into the halving, and then we really run. This happens over and over. This can be the low here before we run into the halving, and then we get the bigger run. So I'll give you an opportunity to come join me on Thursday and hear more about that as we wrap up here today. So, all right, that's crypto right there. Yeah, basically, Bitcoin's the big dog, and they are running 41% of the entire cryptoverse right now. If you're saying, I don't want to start a crypto account, I just want to get a little piece, well, I've got something for you right here. It's BITO. This is futures for Bitcoin. You notice it's just right in the roadmap line today. So it's lagging actual Bitcoin just a little bit. It's got a little bit of resistance coming up right there at 15. I am long $10 calls out to 2025 on this one. So I do have a little piece of this. And the calls aren't too bad. I think they're running around like $5 today, maybe getting close to $6 with that pop at the end of the day. So this is a way to play it. You could buy some at the money or just slightly out of the monies and be able to catch this thing. And I would go out, the halving is roughly 2024 in March. And that's roughly when the block's going to hit. It's more block determinant, based on mining than it is based on time. But right now, the rough calculations, mid-March. So you want to go out at least past that, at least 2025, if you're going to play this long term. Shares would be a great way to do this too. But, power of options. So, all right. Time for your requests. Let's take requests. Ethereum also looking good. Has a head and shoulders going here. And if that plays out, takes us up to this 3,000 to 3,100 area. So it does have substantial resistance to also get through, and it's lagging Bitcoin just a little bit. So, all right, SCHW. Yeah, looks bullish, looks nice. Doesn't have no entry right now. I would expect this thing to probably run just a little higher. No great place to do the fibs off of, but yeah, hitting right at the 1618. So a run back down into this area might be in the cards for Schwab. That's what it looks like right now. All right, Mara. Yeah, it's probably going to hit the roadmap line. It's definitely on a path here. I was talking about that one this morning during the live stream because it was a hot topic, showing up on Stock Twits. It looks like it has a bigger head and shoulders pattern cooking. That's what I got the green blobs drawn there. But it'll probably come up right into the roadmap line here. So probably find some resistance in here and then probably make that pullback, that other shoulder, and then potentially break out, especially if Bitcoin continues its hot run right now. It's definitely running hot, definitely running spicy. So, I mean, up 0.5% today, but it's been jumping. Shoot, I mean, it was 16,000 just a few days ago. It was 15,000 at the low. So we're up $6,000 roughly in just the last couple weeks on Bitcoin. And it's just the beginning. So, all right. To do coin, I did go long on a call spread on coin today. looking for coin to run up into the roadmap line here today, or in the next couple weeks. I actually went out to February 17th on that one and bought a 60-70 spread. Looking for coin to continue its little rally here. Right back into that resistance it had, right back into the roadmap line. So we see this right here, coming across, right in there. Probably up here around 70. All right, JPM. Not very interesting. That's kind of boring. Got a fair size little pullback right there. Nice 3-wave action and popping out almost to the 140, almost to that 1618 at 144. I wouldn't look for a whole lot more than that right now. That could be it right there. That big candle, it could push just a little higher, and then it's probably going to get another retrace, another one of these 3-wave deals. So GS, it got slammed on earnings. I didn't watch what it did toward the end of the day, but yeah, right back to the roadmap line. And it's probably going to push like that. Looks like if it doesn't hold here, what just happened? Something froze there for a second. Got this little guy right here, so we could see it push. Like if it pushes below the roadmap line, this is the target right there, down to that 1272 extension right there. Now if it bounces here, up there's the target. Now MS came up, hit the $98 target right there. It did that pullback, ramped right back up. The extension target right around 101, 102, right up there. But it looks like it was rejecting that 1272 target, so it may come back down, fill this gap, may fill that earnings gap right there before it can get the next run up. All right, BMY. That needs to get back above the roadmap line, back above 75 to be interesting for me right now. Man, what's going on here? Mouse is skipping around. I'm gonna have to close some windows, I think. All right. Yeah. Needs to get back above 75 to go higher. Otherwise, it can test deeper into this consolidation here. All right. Looking for anything I missed here. I got BMY. Was that TT? Was that a request? Take two? Is that right? Whole bunch of TTs. There we go. Now train. All right. There's TT. Coming right up to the 1618. That would be all I would expect right now before a bigger retrace. All right, flex. What's going on here? Legs. I said flex, man. Yeah, that's that's extensions right there. Be careful. It's getting a super extension out to the 2618. Probability that this retraces back down here is quite great at this point. Things just can't run super high forever before they get a huge retrace. I mean, Tesla's kind of a proof of that when you look at the bigger chart here. When we look at this, let's go up to the monthly even. When you get an outsized move up that just blasts through all the fib lines, you get a giant retrace. So UNG, what happened? New tax on natural gas is what happened. Natural gas play was dead. They raised the taxes on natural gas 17%. So all of a sudden, people are switching off natural gas. All right, kind of killing demand. NIO, yeah. And looks like it's just consolidating in the bottom here. That's a lower high right now. Not awesome. Not what I want to see. I mean, look at that right there. So that's going to be the price there, and you know, probably now it's got this little extra bit on top, and then the roadmap line. That's some resistance it's got to get through. Amazon getting a little pullback today, but it's breaking through. It's pushing above, trying to get through the trend line. Next stop up here about 110 at the roadmap line. Got the resistance that we built up with this consolidation over here and over here, up to 124. And I still am holding on to this target up here around 150, 160 by the summer. I'm in a call spread, looking for that price to pop up through 140, back up to that, above that high right there. Got earnings coming up very soon. Apple, I went long on Apple last week, looking for a short-term run up into the roadmap line. This move up right here, this move up right here would be echoes of each other. If it just came up right into the zone, right around 145, I went long with the synthetic shares. That means you buy a call, sell a put, and buy a protective put underneath it to reduce your risk. Up about 130% on that trade at the close. So, all right, SQ looking strong right in the roadmap line at the close. I expect this one to flow right on up through here. 95 is kind of my target, the top of this consolidation here. Then we probably get a pullback to the roadmap line and then a bigger launch. That one's probably going back to 200, but it's going to take a while. We're talking like 6 months, 8 months. So that's my idea on Square right now. I do have options that expire on Friday. $75 calls that I'm looking to close out. So, MU. Right at the roadmap line, find a resistance. It's got to break through, otherwise that's a lower high, lower low. Zoom looks pretty bad. That's not gonna go up. It doesn't look like. That's pretty bad. Something good's got to happen for Zoom to get out of this funk, because that's not too good. Yeah, I don't like that one at all. Cat, I am long cat too. Looking for the target right up here. Target zone between 270 and 290. That one's on the path, just marching along. Now cat and DE, not CE, DE, both indicating that the economy is coming out of the funk here. Been on a nice strong rally. DE's target up here around 480. NVIDIA, working on a breakout. We break out over that high right back here in December, 188-ish. Break out over that, and this sucker can go. This is a measured bounce setup. I got long, looking for a move up to this 335 area. Ideally, 277 may be it, and 238, or right around 250. So watch that one. Another one that has a really good setup that I actually did was this one, NVIDIA. Same measured bounce type setup. I'm looking for 95 on my position. I bought a call position out to the summer. Looking for this thing to pop right on back up in this zone right there. Right in there. All right. PayPal, it was not looking as hot as Square. Still down here in the funk, below the roadmap line. It's still got this downtrend cooking here. Put the line on the highs. Still below the downtrend. So it's got to get up through 91 to get out of here. Otherwise, we can make a lower low yet again. And my target's down here around 42 if this thing doesn't get out of its funk. Bad news for PayPal today and Shop was that Amazon plans to get into the direct sales game. list their Prime sales ability on other websites, not just on Amazon. So if you didn't see that news today, that was big for Amazon. And I don't know, maybe they get out of this, maybe they don't. So maybe that was last week's news. Maybe that was the pop last week for Amazon. But that creates competition for Shopify, who was notifying their merchants if they list Amazon that they're violating their contract with Shop. So how's that going to play out? I don't think Shop's got the leverage that Amazon has, if you ask me. So, all right, QS. Yeah, breaking the downtrend. It's got this resistance right here up through 1050 would be where I'd set my alert to come back and look at this one. 1050, 1060, somewhere in there. Are they going to get their batteries going? I don't know. It's been on a nice big downtrend for a while here. So that could be it. We need to see a pop up through the roadmap line, retrace, find support, and then move higher. That's what I would that's what I would look for, excuse me, in a minimum. If you're a bottom buyer, I'm not stopping you, but this is not the kind of stuff I look for to put my money at risk. It's a little bit of gamble until we're back above the roadmap line into some positive territory. HD is having a little trouble breaking out here. So this one did pull back to the roadmap line. This is what I'm talking about, like breaking above, pulling back, finding support. We want to see it get right on up through the 618, those prior highs, and keep on trucking. Now this one, if it can break out, we're looking like a target up here around 470. So Tesla is still down here in this zone. Came back up, back to the orange box. It did dip below it for a couple weeks, and now we're back into the orange box. I don't know. It could pop right on back on up through here. Then it's got some more resistance right here where it consolidated for a couple weeks. So what's it going to do? Not sure yet. Since it poked through the box, it could come right back up to that target zone and then make another leg lower. Where's the next support? Well, we do have one right there when it bounced off of. But then the next one is all the way down at this zone. All the way down here. And that would be pretty devastating for most Tesla holders. So, all right. Ford, still in this wedge here. Haven't been able to break out yet. Zoom back up here. Watermelon seed squeeze play. If it can break out, the move up would be the distance of the beginning of the wedge here, which would take us up to about right here, up to about 20. But we're just kind of consolidating. We can see another run down. Well, A, B, C, D, E. It could break down, but could also break up. Could be A, B, C, D, E, and then break out. Which way it's going to go, not sure. This is that's why I call it the watermelon seed squeeze. You never know if this is the start or if this one was the start. So, just stuck in the wedge right now. All right. Any more? What we got? Yeah, Bitcoin is pumping. I like it. Roku, sure thing. ROKU. That's a downtrend all day. That's like a down channel too. Like it's kind of riding the channel, and then we copy it and paste it right down here. Look at that. I don't expect it to do anything except go lower at this point. All right, OXY. Yeah, consolidating right at the roadmap line. Expect the next push higher, actually. And target's up there around 82 or 88. Nothing really changed on that one. UNH is got my lower target down here. I am short that one via a put debit spread. buy a put, sell a lower put. I'm looking for this target area right here on UNH. And really, that may be as far as it goes, and then it gets a retrace back to this, and then one more leg down. See how it retraced almost back to that purple line. So you may see it chug on down, retrace, and then push down to the final low here. That's UNH, and it's set up bearish right now, and that was a B wave, and that's probably the C wave to conclude a corrective move here on UNH. All right, Google still in this funk. Looks like it's got a higher trend line. High there, high there. Only 2 touches. Doesn't make the strongest trend line, but it's still below it and still below the roadmap line. So it didn't do this back here. So it messed that all up. What's it going to do? Not sure yet. Needs some strength, needs some breakout energy here. All right. PFE. I'm not sure what BR/X is. PFE looks like it's a measured bounce set up at the moment, but it's got to get back going positive. If it can go right up there is the target, 64, but looking kind of rough right now. You know, it did hold support at this prior consolidation. Starts breaking below that, then it can go lower low. Target down here, 38. All right, WWE. That one's just sitting at the 1618. That's it. I mean, it could extend more, but it reached right up to that 1618 $90 target and parking there. It kind of needs to retrace before it can go higher, or it's got to go sideways a bit. That would be my expectation on WWE. All right, EQT. And man, that right down. Let's see if it hit the target. Yep, hit the target right there where the A equals C. Bounce right here. I'd watch for a move back up through 40. Yeah, roughly back up through the roadmap line like that. So a move back up here could indicate a long. And we're going to have to update that fib line. Yeah, now the resistance is right at the right there. All right, rig. I'll do a few more, and then yeah, that's targets. Could get more targets. Let's expand it just a little bit more. So 640 is another zone, and then 750 above that. So and lift LYFT coming up. It's a lower high so far. We start breaking above the roadmap line, this thing can reverse its fortunes. But look at that right there. It's been kind of a support resistance zone. Come on, click. Right there. So it's going to take a move up through 17. Nice big fat move, but it could turn down and go lower yet again. So caution on that one. ZIM. That looks pretty horrible. I mean, gosh, man, that looks like it's going to go on down. That makes it look even worse. Yeah, if that was an IPO right back there, it's probably going to go below that price. Most IPOs make a low below their original price before they can get going positive. All right. I see WYNN. Yeah, looking positive right there. Let's see, zoom this up just a little bit so we can see the candles. That right there was not my ideal pullback, but yeah, it's probably getting a little bit tired on that move without making a bigger retrace. Probably needs a retrace, something like that. Yeah, back down. Could probably stand a retrace about like that. Alrighty. Yeah, sorry you're late. You can always head over to YouTube and rewind it and watch from the beginning. Alright, JPM. Yeah. Right here. We talked about that already. Kind of reaching up to the target, 144, before we get a pullback. Lloyd, you got anything you want me to add in here? I did do Ethereum and Bitcoin. Like I said, jeffrytrader.com/YouTube. Take you over to my YouTube channel. You can rewind all the way back to the beginning. See Microsoft. MSFT. Nothing super spectacular so far. Looks a lot like Apple, kind of. Except not. MSFT. Yeah. That's got a nice big fat setup resistance right there. And then the roadmap line sitting on top of that. So not too spicy till we get back up to 255. All right. Good. Glad you did good on some calls. X looking like it can extend right on up here to 39, back to the all-time high. That reminds me, FCX also. Oh, look at that, right to the target. Probably get a pullback. Going a little faster than I expected. We may get a pullback and extension higher here. Yeah, copper's rocking. All right. I do hold about 3,500 Raven coins. Let's see. Let's pop over here and give you an opportunity here. So the crypto market is red hot. We all know it. We've been hearing it in the news. Bitcoin's rallying, Ethereum's rallying. All sorts of cryptos are up. You know, some of them up 50% or more. On Thursday at 1 p.m., I'm going live to update you, break down the path ahead, give you an opportunity to join me. So if you want to register for that event and what I got to talk about, it won't be on YouTube. It'll be on Zoom, where you ask questions and hear the whole thing. jeffrytrader.com/register. I'll save you a seat. All right. So if you want to get in on that, find out more about crypto and what I got cooking, jeffrytrader.com/register. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, because I probably go live tomorrow morning and talk about the market movers again tomorrow morning. I did that this morning. If you missed it, you can go check out the YouTube channel. Right here, the link, jeffrytrader.com/YouTube. Go check that out. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for coming. We'll see you again next week for 30 minutes of awesome. Bye, everybody.